Kiwat Kennell, you might know him from the music genius band. That's one of the worst intros. Don't ever get me to hype man your gigs, Kihu.
That's all right. That's all right.
But anyway, as you can see, he's an audio genius because his sound is immaculate. But welcome to the show,
Thank you, brother.
Kiwat Kennell.
Thank you very much for having me. It's an honor to be on here. I've been loving this all through isolation. You know, I've been a big fan of your work, and we've had some yarns before, and it's an honor to be here and to be a part of your Black Biz Week.
Yeah, you're kicking it off too. You know, I think it's fitting. Well, it doesn't matter what order it is. I think it's great because you've just started the business. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's a new thing for you. It's amazing what lockdown did for people and. Got them thirsty and creative and launching new things. But tell us a little bit about Same Way Nation and where was it born and how long have you been thinking about something like this? And
yeah, well, we've been working on Same Way Nation for about a year. So kind of the idea sort of sparked from basically our friendship group that we have. We have a very culturally diverse and gender diverse friendship group across many different backgrounds, and we've all been friends for a long time. And it all sort of started with the idea of a bar that I used to work at down in Baxter's Lot in Fitzroy. And here is just always we did the fortnightly open mic night, and there was always different musicians coming through and different people coming through, and I like bringing people together. And with the experiences that I had running events there, as well as my best friend who is the other half of Kihu, Matthew Hula, and as well as my sister Kerry Kennell, we combined all together with our experiences within small business management, hospitality management, and events management, combining it all together and providing this company where... Oh, sorry, my cat's just wants to get involved. Hello, buddy.
We love animals. It's so good.
Yeah, and basically it's we all support each other. We always like same people you would find at a Kihu gig, you would find at one of our other bandmates, House of Wood, and you'd find them at another one, Sienna Wild, and other bands. It's always the same sort of group of people going supporting another person. And we're talking about a group of 30, 40, 50 people that come through, and that can really change the energy of a room for a band or for anyone really. And it's a matter of just supporting each other. If somebody else is going to this gig, or somebody's releasing something else for the first time, someone's got an art exhibit, someone's doing this, we'd all go together and we'd all support each other, all in the same direction, and support each other in the same way. And that's why Same Way Nation was founded, going together, moving forward in the same direction, all together as one people. And it was basically, we provide consultancy and events and hospitality and small business management and consultations and mentoring. And yeah, that's where Same Way Nation came under that sort of banner. And yeah, we just basically want to support everyone. And our motto is to discover and empower. We want to help you discover what your full potential is and empower yourself to reach that full potential.
Are you in particular looking after First Nations mob, or is this are you doing general?
First Nations mob at the moment, we've partnered up with Songlines Aboriginal Music Company Corporation, and we're offering a Discover Your Power program for First Nations artists. As well as just to the general public as well. It's open to everyone. We want to link people up and just help upskill everyone. Basically, all of the little tips and tricks that we learned, that I learned as Kihu, and that Hula learned as Kihu. Basically, little things like trying to look at right venues sort of to play at. Being seen at these sort of venues that sort of add to your performance resume, so to speak. And just offering little tips and tricks. But each one of our clients, everything that we do is all customized to the individual. It's not like a 12-step program or anything like that. We sit down, have a yarn, kind of just see where the person's at and just see where their skill level's at, and it's like, okay, cool, so this is just recommendations that we can offer, and it's up to them if they want to engage for as long as they want. There's no lock-in contracts or anything like that at all. Everything is all just customizable.
That's brilliant. And I know you're doing a little bit of work with Naramili.
Yep.
That's great. How important has it been how long's this idea been going on? It sounds like, the way you're talking about it, it's something that's been kind of knocking on your door for quite some time, just knowing that people are stuck at just starting. How's it gone from that real kind of beta stage, if you want to call it, to now becoming, a real public figure right now. You've got a great website and you're starting taking clients.
Yeah, it started off just with this simple idea. We wanted to help people. I've always enjoyed helping people and bringing people together and empowering their own ideas. Sometimes you really just want to have someone in your corner, someone backing your ideas, or someone you want to bounce ideas off, or if you're a bit unsure about making a certain decision of what sort of like, oh, do I go with this distributor? Do I go with this one? Did this poster work? Or what about this? Is my social media up to date? Or just questions that you might have as a solo artist or even as a band, and you're not too sure which way you want to take them. And that's why we're here, just as a sounding board for you to drop ideas off and just bounce things off, and we'll give you an honest opinion if we think it or not. And that's and that's where it all sort of started from. And it started in January just as an idea that we were kind of like, yeah, we could do this. And then it was more so my sister Kerry. She is just a brilliant businesswoman and highly intelligent, smartest one in the family. She came in as our manager for Kihu.
Right.
And it was like in our first year, we just started. We played at Groove in the Moo, thanks to Birds. Actually, Birds picked at us in 2019 to go on this curated lineup, and we were there with Kian as well. And then we was like, look, we need someone to manage our paperwork, and we were like, oh. My sister's a lawyer. She's also, running a company at the time and up in Queensland, and she was doing all the accounts and everything for this business. And we're like, look, can you take care of ours? And then she started doing more of that remotely, and then she ended up moving down here. And it was really good. It was really good to kind of have her on board and do all the paperwork. And then we're like, and we started working well as a team, all three of us. And then it was like, boom, boom, boom. And then we realized we have this idea of this thing where we just want to help people all the time. Just want to help as many people as we can. And then it kind of just like, all right, well, we can start a company. What do we want to call it? We want to have a name that sort of like encapsulates
I love it how that's
everyone.
I love it. Yeah. I've had a few ideas. Sorry to jump in. I had a few ideas in my head, and it's always, I feel like the decision is based on the name, which it's not. I've now learned it's not. You can call it anything.
Yeah.
If the business is really good. But it's so funny how much you just like, what are we going to call it?
Yeah, what are we going to call it? Like, that's it. It's got to roll off the tongue, and it's got to feel good, and it's got to appeal to everyone as much as we can and be inclusive. And we knew like as we were figuring it out, we started like doing some pro bono clients and working with some new people and just figuring out our business model, but all the while trying to figure out the name. It took us almost like maybe 4 to 6 months just to figure out the name,
So tell us, how did you come up with Same Way Nation?
Well, there was a whole bunch of names that we were throwing around, but something about same way, to a lot of black fellas, that's it. It's always the same way, like, hey, which way are you going? Same way, and that's where we wanted to sort of encompass that, but also for, our non-First Nations brothers and sisters out there as well. We wanted something that was inclusive enough that people can, and be like, okay, cool, that's going in the same direction. It's something that universally people can agree on. That's about building together, working together, and rising together as together, and that's why Nation came into it, bringing people together. Yeah,
you talked a little bit before about some of the questions that you would get asked, and it's probably a reality right across the industry when you're just starting out. You got a lot of doubt, and you're just not sure. Do you think that's one of the most crippling things in terms of people's advancing from just an idea? And how many First Nations people do you think would be crippled by this, I guess, self-doubt?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's one of that's something that we're working on with Songlines, is that we want to reach out to any First Nations performers out there, no matter where they are. That's something that we learned during COVID, is that this mentoring and support that we offer, you don't have to be in person to do this. You can do it over Zoom, and it's a matter of just, we want to try and breach regional and metro. And bring those two together and offer those assistance and try and get avenues within the networks that we have. We work with small venues, and we can get gigs where you can trial out different sounds, and then we can brief people on how, like, this is what they're sort of expecting, but also at the same time is like, we will match performers with venues that are right for their own sound. You know, if we can get a big band, if there's a big band out there, you know, a big First Nations band out there that wants to just rock out, we can link them up with the venue, try and get someone maybe down at Workers Club or maybe something else anywhere within the city that they can just kind of show their talents and just actually let it all out. Because that's some of the struggles is trying to find a way to reach people, especially if you're out in regional areas or remote areas. Trying to reach your audience and expand that, you know, and this is something that we want to roll out possibly on a national level if we can, but you know,
why not?
It's anywhere we can go.
Endless I guess clients, like there's so many cases out there. I mean we've both come in the Melbourne scene for a while, and there's so much talent out there, just blocked by doubt or not sure what to do, but someone clustering up with you, or you're spot on. Like all you need is someone to go, this is actually a really good idea. I think I can help you with your website, and that might be the only thing that was stopping it.
Yeah, and that's it. It could just be a simple thing like, you know, organizing when you sort of post your social medias, like putting it on, you know, certain days and understanding who your target audience is, and just, you know, putting a little link in your bio, or just little things that accumulate to be the whole picture that is represented as you, the artist, or you, the businessman, or you, the businesswoman, anyone. And between the experience between myself, Matthew, and Kerry, we have enough experience to help you get through any sort of situation. We understood the sort of path, what it took for us to get to where we are, and we just want to share this knowledge. And there's so much doubt in this industry, because as an artist, you put your heart on your sleeve. You literally do that.
Yes.
And it's hard being vulnerable. And you know, some of the things that I've learned in my experiences is that, you know, when you're a musician performing from your heart and you think people don't like it, you take that personally. You take that personally, and it's nothing against you at all. It's just they might not be into your music, but that doesn't mean you give up. So many people just give up because of that.
Give us you've got some clients, or have you had a little dabble over the 6 to 12 months?
We've got a few clients at the moment. Our first client actually was my dad. My dad was,
cool. I love it.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
How did you help him? What's your dad into?
Well, so dad taught me pretty much how to play guitar, and that's how I learned. That's how I got into music. Dad is a great musician. He lives up in Mergen, and he works out of Cherbourg, and he's always loved performing, but he's always struggled with a little bit of stage fright.
Right.
And we kind of just we were talking it out, and we kind of got down to the root of it, about where it sort of came from, you know. And it was more so talking about sort of like support at a young age. My grandfather, his father, different generation, tough, strong men, you know, different generation. And Dad was always working hard, but you know, music wasn't really a priority, you know. But I was talking with Dad. I was like, look at me, you and my mum, you both supported me in all my music and everything that I've done, and I've had the confidence to go and play anywhere I can, and just absolutely I love being on stage. And Dad was like, yeah, okay, yeah. And I was like, look, he said he wanted to do a stream and he wants to make videos and stuff, and he was a little bit nervous. And I was like, look, you don't have to worry about streaming to everyone. Just send me a video. And he sent me an example video of him playing, and he was so nervous, and it was just like looking everywhere. Yeah, but I offered some pointers, and I sent him some example videos of other musicians that I think would inspire him. I was looking at Matt Corby, John Butler, and I was like, look at these guys. Like when they perform, they're not looking right at the camera. They're transporting to this place within. They're focusing on their hands and their fingers, and just understanding where this music comes from. They play from this. And I was like, Dad, I've seen you play, and I see people when they see you play, they just are encapsulated with you, with your voice and everything. You've got the talent. It's just a matter of focusing on you and your drive. Focusing inward on yourself, because when you focus on you, that's where the magic happens, and that's where that comes in. And he then sent me another video. He said he had a gig. He did the gig, and he went, and he's like, son, I did exactly what you said, and it worked.
Oh.
And he was just so blown away with it. And then he sent me a follow, and we had a session the following week, and then he sent me a video of him performing, and he's a completely different person. And now after a couple of sessions that we've done with him, like, he was never really good with computers, and now he's got his own home studio that we helped set him up. We helped source everything for him. He's got a good microphone, and he's got good speakers, and he's now recording himself at home. And and he's in Mergen, and he was one of our first clients. And it's really good to kind of just see that progression and see the confidence in himself as a performer. So
you touch on so much goodness. It can be just those little unassuming, maybe just so minor tweaks that get people rolling. I can't believe you worked with your dad first up. You must have a beautiful relationship with your dad to be at it. For your dad, and sometimes it's in the parents' hands, but the dad is all right for the son.
Yeah.
You need to pick up your game in this area, but it's
been good. Like we've had a bit of a rocky relationship over the years, but working with him on this and through ISA, we've rebuilt our relationship. A lot of the things that we sort of focus on within our businesses was we look after mental health. And I started reconciling things with my dad, and we started building a brand new relationship on just this great communication of just being people. And then having that mutual respect for each other, and then sharing skills, and it's kind of built from that. And that's it. Like I've been in this industry a while now, and I just want to share as much knowledge as I can, and sort of pass that forward to anyone that I can.
Hey, it is Black Biz Week, and I know you've got some other businesses, and I do want to hopefully shed a bit of light on how's Kihu going.
Kihu's going real good actually. We had our first gig back last week.
Cool.
And it was really good. We had we had 2 shows. The first one sold out within 48 hours, which was really cool. It was our first sold out show.
So
and then they offered us a matinee show, so we had a small acoustic matinee show. So 2 shows in one day. So coming back, it was a lot, and I was just like, I needed a couple of days off after it. But it was great to kind of just be on stage, and we got to play a couple of our new songs. We're
awesome.
Planning on releasing an album soon. We're going to be jumping back into the studio, and so we've got a whole bunch of new songs that we're really, really, really proud to.
That's exciting, man. I reckon there's a lot of people that are home fit, not stage fit, and might do like 2 shows that cooked.
Getting used to that home life, especially if you live alone. You're always like to your own thoughts, and that can sometimes get annoying talking to yourself.
Nice, man. Tell us about some of the new songs that you got.
A lot of our new songs, it's actually written between the whole band. So Kihu originally started off with myself and Hula, Kiwat and Hula, together with Kihu. But now it's evolved. We've got Luke Davies on the bass and Bo Charman. They both have bachelors in music.
Cool.
And they also went to uni with Hula and in my hometown in Lismore. And so they were all songwriters, and we've all been able to encompass everything. So myself, like I have a Bachelor of Audio Production. I'm more on the tech side, but I can come with like a half song idea, bring it to the band, and they'll be like, oh, sweet, okay, so we'll add this here, and then the song sort of evolves and turns into this brand new song that didn't originally start off like this. Yeah. And these are skills that we learned through Song Hub's First Nations, that where we went there, and we know how to write songs. And it's great to kind of just be able to sit down with these guys in a room. We've been working on these songs over in isolation, sending each other demos back and forth.
Yeah, cool.
And this is the sort of stuff that we can do. We've even been doing it with my dad, like with some of his songs that he's wanted to be trialing. We just sent each other demos, and then when we came into the rehearsal rooms for the first time, we're like, cool, all right, so we've got a basic understanding of these songs. And we had 3 rehearsals before our first show, and then everything sort of just locked into place, and it just worked.
Hey, tell us, you're a First Nations man from Torres Strait?
Yes, Eastern Torres Strait. Yes.
Eastern Torres Strait. How do you go with, I guess, entwining or centralising or placing culture within your businesses? You've got 2 essentially. One's music, and a lot of kind of naive people would probably... I talk to a lot of people in cars, like when I'm catching Ubers, and I tell them what I do, and I play a bit of First Nations music, and they're like, oh, what's that mean? Yeah. They're so stuck. But, culture. Can you talk a little bit about how your culture plays a part in both these businesses that you got?
Yeah, we're always about modern representation of First Nations people, understanding that you know, sometimes when we don't have access to, like for myself, I haven't been up to the Torres Strait yet because it's difficult to get up there from here. It's expensive, and you know, it's really hard to kind of get up there. But understanding that the world that we live in, it's always changing, it's always evolving. You know, incorporating culture into every sort of everyday life and every sort of modern day life. Myself, like I'm an audio engineer and I use a lot of technology, and trying to incorporate my Indigenous identity with that has always been a bit of a struggle. You know, haven't been able to experience much culture because I do a lot of tech work, and I work at different hours, and I work on weekends, and I can't really get away, and to get away is expensive. But we always understand that identity is always up to the individual. You know, how you choose to represent yourself, and working with a lot of different people. Absolutely love working with Jacinta Keefe. Like, you know, she is definitely somebody that I represent, like who fully represents the modern sort of Indigenous person, modern First Nations person. She's always out taking photos. She's always in with the gaming scene, and she loves anime, and like she just like I love the Deadly Indigenerds mob. Like that they're the sort of people that I really relate to myself, and as well as Matthew Hulley. We're both big nerds as well. We love
cool.
superhero movies, so you know, in seeing things like Black Panther, they're very empowering. Things that represent modern First Nations people I'm always for. You know, so it's trying to balance those two between my love for technology and my love for my culture, and trying to get it all. And so it's been really good to sort of working with Dad and building that relationship with Dad and understanding that. So that way, you know, and we want to incorporate as much culture as we can. And at the moment, you know, since COVID's ending, or not ending, we're post-COVID. So it's now that these are the things now that the business is starting to represent itself, and it's starting to get some good foundations. We can now start exploring all of our culture.
Yeah, beautiful. For anyone listening in that would like some support from you, how do they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
So anyone out there, any sort of First Nations mob, doesn't have to be. You don't have to be musicians. You can be an artist. You can be a painter. You can be anything, any sort of creative whatsoever. We've got a program at the moment out, Discover Your Power program. Aimed at empowering you to be a self-managed artist and understanding the strengths that you can get as both a small business as yourself, setting yourself up with ABNs and understanding how that all works, as well as getting your brand out there and just basically helping you grow as an artist. And that is fully funded thanks to Songlines and Creative Victoria. So you don't have to spend a single cent. Just go to our website, samewaynation.com. And you'll see the programs page, and you can register your expression of interest there. Otherwise, just our website, samewaynation.com, or Facebook or Instagram. Just find us there, and that's the best way to get in touch with us.
That's brilliant, man. I think it's really a powerful way to finish. Is it's an open door, and come as you are. It's so accepting, and everyone's got an opportunity to grow within Same Way Nation. It's I think it's a brilliant initiative and you got a great team with. I mean, having the lawyer there, I love the lawyer, because like a lot of black fellas don't know the law, especially when it comes, and it's quite daunting. Like contracts, even just doing a contract with it between you and a venue. Some people write it like just get a template and
even an email, drafting an email. You know, drafting a simple email and understanding what things to write, like you know, checking, like load-in times, understanding sound checks, trying to get your text to a gig, you know, trying to figure out opening acts and who gets paid what, ticket sales, all of this. This is just for a show, you know. And then, you know, then there's so many other things, little things that, you know, there is a way that you can do it, and we would like to help wherever we can.
I love it. Kiwat, I'm so honoured to have you on here, and we could have, and get Same Way Nation out there, and hopefully this reaches and touches some artists and some people in the creative industry to get some support.
Absolutely.
I'm super encouraged by what you're doing, and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us. It's an honor to be on here. I'm so excited. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Nice one, man. And we'll catch up with you soon when we can.
Definitely. Too easy. Take care.
Man. Take it easy.
You're welcome.